kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
Welcome everybody to Sim Racing Media. Tonight, the drivers of the SCL Cups Winston Cup Series take on Gateway. I am Mike Demoney up in the booth, joined with me as always on these Monday nights by Zach Woods. How's it going, Zach?
It's going pretty good, Mike. We're going to have a fantastic event here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. This 1.25 mile racetrack, there we go, is extremely unique. Turns 1 and 2, of course, pretty narrow. It feels like you're taking that 90-degree turn going into turn 1, but obviously it's not the case. And then on 3 and 4, it's a totally different end of the racetrack where driving styles are going to be different from driver to driver. So look for the opportunities to pass on that end of the racetrack tonight.
Yeah, definitely going to have to take advantage of that. Last week's winner, Barrett Flo, is currently in 8th position in practice. Last week's second place was top of the board in practice. Justin Lewis and Lilith Peters rounded out the top 3 from Chicagoland as they get set to qualify here. Like Michael Matta might be the first man out on track.
Matta's shown some speed as of late in that 16 machine, so pretty anxious to see how he's going to be holding himself here in this race. Maybe not the finishes that Michael has been really expecting, but there's been a few races in this stretch here in the SCL Cup Series where, man, that 16 machine's been pretty fast.
Yeah, he was pretty fast last week till an unfortunate incident sent him to the back of the field. But we'll see what he does this week as he's getting ready to work his way through 1 and 2 here of his first qualifying lap. Ooh. Get a little closer to that outside wall.
Oh yeah, and we're going to see a lot of drivers flirt with that outside wall on exit tonight, trying to get everything they can out of these cars, and you're going to see some squirrely moments on that end of the racetrack, just because the turn coming out of the corner is so narrow, right? It's such a sharp turn. As you can see, kind of skirts it up the racetrack here.
Yep. That 400 machine of Matt Schlossler is pretty fast every week right now. He's sitting on provisional pole with the 34.76. Michael Matta with the 34.83. Todd Merkel and Zachary Archer a 34.87 apiece.
Justin Lewis now to the top of the pylon here on the 07 machine. You can see that very familiar orange and blue paint scheme. We've been pretty fortunate to see Lewis up front in a lot of these races, but it was brought to our attention the unfortunate streak that Lewis has been on lately. He's been losing a lot of these races on the last lap. Can he break the streak today and snag the win here?
Yeah, definitely. He's been up front for a lot of the races and just winds up in an unlucky situation there. But Barrett Flo currently second, completing his second lap here with the 34.60. We'll see what this lap goes.
That's really important to get off to a good start. It looks like, at least for a number of these drivers, their first lap is actually the quickest instead of the second. So Barrett second on the pylon. Taking a look here at Justin Horton now in the 64 machine.
He completed his lap of 34.70, locks it down. Maxwell Caldwell last week had an unfortunate incident, wound up calling it a night early. Ryan Farrell here at 35.04, first time by.
Yeah, this 40 machine tends to be quick on weeks that we don't really expect. Can this be a week where we see that very familiar Petty Blue machine throwing haymakers up front? Gonna cross the line here. Does he go up the board at all? Yes, all the way to P4.
Looks like the first two drivers are a couple tenths quicker than everybody else, but third through 10th there is separated by 1/10 of a second there.
And your marks is really important here, and you mentioned it. Later on through the field, we're going to see a lot of evenly matched drivers try to vie for position.
Todd Merkel currently 13th, completed that second lap. Not any faster, so he'll stay in 13th. Lilith Peters working on her lap here. Up to second, 34.53.
Yeah, Lilith has been very strong in her first season of competition for the SCL Winston Cup Series. We are so used to seeing this 101 up front. Really trying to get pole now is the only thing more that she can do on this lap. Let's see if she can do it here on the exit of 4.
Nope. And that is it for qualifying.
Oh!
Just got cut out there.
Ran out of time so close to the start finish line. We'll never know if that lap was good enough to get pole.
This back to the start of the grid here. Now, so as we get set to get round number 9 started here, we got Justin Lewis on the pole position. Lilith Peters in second. Barrett Flo inside row 2. Outside is Justin Horton. Row 3, Ryan Farrell and Isaac Love. Row 4, Maxwell Caldwell and Derek Wagman. Row 5, Johnny Lefevers and Matt Schlosser. Then we got row 6, Michael Matta and Trevor Dalton. We go back to Matthew McMeekin and Todd Merkel, 13th and 14th. Row 8, Zachary Archer and Austin Call. Row 9, Will Simone and Lee Campbell. Then we got Jonathan Case-Bear and Bruno Latour in row 10. Row 11 is Ronnie Hurst and Craig Forsyth. Mike Peters and Brandon Murray round out the field of 24 drivers. Oh, it looks like David Hanna's in there too. So David Hanna will round it out. And that is a field of 25 drivers we have to take on this unique racetrack of Worldwide Technology.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see. A big topic of discussion tonight will be tire wear and these drivers trying to sort things out between one another. Do you push hard early in this 125 lap event, or do you be patient? Are you going to wait and let the race sort of come to you? You can certainly put a lot of pressure on some of these drivers that are further on to start today's race. If you are a Justin Lewis, if you are a Lilith Peters, it might behoove you to go really hard early, knock out some of those competitors towards the back of the field, make this 20 car field anywhere between that 18 to 20 car mark, just to give you some peace of mind.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see what everybody elects to do here as they get set to start. They're getting through their drivers meeting here. We'll see if we can maybe talk to the 07 after they get done here, the pole setter. There he is on track.
Well, I have personally, I've refreshed my paints here, Mike. So I need you to tell me what livery do you see on that 07?
I see the orange and blue, JL Racing.
Okay. I do not.
I'll say I just refreshed a little bit ago, but
well. Oh, yep. 3%. Yep. Trading paints. You are. It is a Monday, so I'll give you that. But I need you to be a little quicker on the draw there. There we go. I mean, it's only my screen. It's not like, the viewers are seeing what I see. So.
Yeah. Right. See if we can get him up here now. Or not. Maybe you will have to.
Oh. Yep. I will try. Trying to find him. There he is. I got him. Maybe.
Yeah, it looks like the lights are out on the pace car, so they usually do one more lap, don't they?
Well, they normally do about 3 laps and catch us off guard up here in the booth. It doesn't look like it's the case at the very least, so looks like we're going to get going here. There's no indication saying that they are extending the pace time. So, Mike, we're actually going to have... oh, there it is. Okay, now it's 2 to green. Never mind, everybody. We're sorry. We're getting tricked up here in the booth, too. And I tried to bring our pole sitter, Justin Lewis, up here. I'm going to try again, but it didn't work the first time. And it won't work this time. So I don't know. Maybe we lost our...
It looks like it's just that room.
Yep. Well, fine. You know what, Justin? We'll talk to you at the end of this thing anyway. So I'm sure that 07 tends to be very, very quick at these sort of technical racetracks.
Yeah, he is our points leader out by 15 points right now, 715 to Lilith Peters 700. Maxwell Caldwell back there with 675 after having a rough week last week. So we'll see what happens once this race gets going here, if anybody's able to cut into that gap for Justin Lewis.
Yeah, some good stories. Taking a look. No, never mind. The lights are out, so I don't have to fill in anymore.
Justin Lewis leads them to green as they make their way down this front stretch. They'll hit that Geico restart zone, and he will be hard on that loud pedal. And here we go. Lilith Peters just to his outside. Side by side they go. Like he's going to jump up in front of Peters and make that corner a little bit easier on himself. Back behind, it looks like they're almost 3 wide there with Horton Farrell and Isaac Love.
Isaac Love is in the middle of this sandwich, but everybody else dodging and weaving behind him because there are multiple guys that got into the fence coming out of turn 2. It looks like everybody's got it all sorted out.
Yeah, they were 3 wide there for a little bit, trying to work their way through that corner, but like everybody's kind of settling down here. Be interesting to see if we do a lot of single file racing here at the beginning as they try and work their way through these 125 laps. They do have, looks like 4 sets of tires, so.
I'm seeing here on the chat here, Mike. I don't know if she's hit the button a couple times, but she has pulled down. Lilith Peters is going down pit road right now. Oh, wow. Not quite sure what happened. Did Lilith Peters perhaps jump the start?
Well, that will be interesting to see here if she does stop in her pit box or just go down pit lane there. Justin Lewis is out to almost a second lead over Barrett Flo with Ryan Farrell and Maxwell Caldwell behind them. Isaac Love back in 5th right now.
Yeah, a number of these cars right now just outside the top 5 are looking for some real estate moving up through the field. Right now Isaac Love's got 5th place, but look at the drivers behind him. Number of very talented individuals back here throughout this pack. Trevor Dalton's back here. You have Matt Schlosser. We talked about the speed out of that 400 car. And then Matthew McMeekin here in the 041. He tends to be pretty quick week in and week out as well. Great battling back here.
These guys are all moving around trying to make a little bit of...
Trevor Dalton, sire. Who is that? Who is that?
Cole.
Austin Cole. We haven't seen Austin Cole in an SCL event since the dawn of time. I was so...
let's take a look at that. Oh.
Already speeding by him.
It is. Like there's something. See if we can see that. But...
Ooh, Hannah, hard into Austin Call. What? We had multiple incidences happening, but yeah, that's David Hanna in the 28 machine.
Whoa.
Loose on the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, loose
getting
off
up.
Loose off of 4 there.
Oh my word. Here we are trying to find out what caused Austin Call's misfortune a lap ago. And 28 just on the rumble strips, getting a little too much wheel into it. Nowhere for Call to go. But the only reason why Call's back there, Mike, is because he lost it the lap before.
Yeah, it's just nothing he could do with that one.
Well, there's another incident on the onboard here on the 28 machine. Actually, look further up on the front stretch. They're wrecking up further.
Okay, let's go. Stop it here and let's go that too far ahead?
I would probably say I honestly can't tell you
There you
who
go.
it is. Will
go up
Salamone's
here.
probably a good place to be. It might have involved Bruno Latour here in the 71.
Oh, Todd Merkel. Who's ever outside of him there?
Oh yeah, look at that. The 53 machine. Hooking in Zachary Archer in the 38. That's Craig Forsythe here in the 53. Look at Zachary Archer up the racetrack. Ooh, hard into the outside fence. That's collecting Lee Campbell in the 014.
Oh, Mike Peters weaves his way through. Wow.
Whew, man, Mike, that was a crazy like 2 laps. There's so much going on there, and it was hard for us to kind of catch up to everything.
Well, we were sitting there thinking they were going to kind of slow, just go single file, and we could look for Austin Calls going sideways there, and then bring it back live, and he's getting into the 28, and then find out there's more going off in front of him.
Oh, and that's how quickly these cars can really snap loose here at a track like Gateway. It's so tough to have so much wheel into these next gens on exit. We see it at really tight cornering racetracks where if you have too much wheel into it, you throttle up, the car instantly snaps loose and you can't save it. And we've just seen a couple incidences of that happen on track.
Yeah, definitely. That is something that everybody kind of has to pay attention to, but when you're at Gateway here, you've got 2 completely different corners, so you might be good on one side and then just not quite as good on the other, especially with how narrow let's bring up the track map here, so just so you can see how drastically different it is on 1 and 2 versus 3 and 4.
Yeah, we covered this a lot during qualifying, right? Where the passing opportunities is going to be in the wider part of the racetrack, where those long sweeping corners will provide opportunities for drivers to really throttle down. You're just kind of holding on for dear life in 1 and 2 on that end of the racetrack. Yeah,
and the other thing about this track is it's a flatter racetrack than these guys have been to in a while. So it's going to be easy for you to basically start sliding, towards the outside because you don't have that banking to help you make the turn.
I can tell you who this caution really helped, Mike, is the driver of the 101 machine, Lilith Peters. She's back there around the 16th, 17th position now. But we saw early on the first lap of this event, the 101 machine starting up front and then having to dive down on pit road. We think there was a penalty served due to the restart. We don't have confirmation of that up in the booth, but slinky the field back together. Now you're just a couple rows back of where you were before.
She's definitely not out of it yet, and it's still early. I mean, we have over 100 laps left to go, so.
Well, side by side, we have the familiar pairing now of Justin Lewis controlling the go button here in the Geico restart zone. Along his outside is Barrett Flo in that 92 Ford machine. Take a look out behind these two. We have the 94 Maxwell Caldwell right behind him. These two are on a radio chat together, and you can tell. Look how good the 94 got on that restart side by side now with Barrett Flo.
Yeah, still side by side. Justin Lewis shotgun the field pretty good there. He's out to almost another second from where he was before, but side by side is Caldwell and Flo. And Flo's starting to slowly edge in front here.
Oh, Flo really sent it there in turns 3. He is way up the racetrack. He tried to outleg Maxwell Caldwell. It didn't work. Slipping back into 3rd now as the battle is probably back there for the 7th position. Yep, 7th position, Todd Merkel.
Yeah, Todd Merkel and Justin Horton there. Matt Schlosser closing in as well as Michael Matta inside the top 10.
Drivers bobbing and weaving here down the backstretch, trying to gain some momentum on one another. Merkel, known for just kind of keeping it there and on that low line, really being patient. Don't quite know what that 2 machine has just yet. Look at the run Schlosser gets on the outside.
Look at Michael Matta all over the back bumper of Merkel there. He had a heck of a run coming out of the corner. 2 into the 64, sliding down the track, get in front of Matta, and Schlosser go around. So that could have been bad quick there for Todd Merkel as he slid up the track into the 64 as Matt Schlosser does the same thing.
Well, with Peters into the fence coming out of turn 4 as well, further on back in this group, hard hit to the passenger side of that 101 machine. Just because you're slinking back up to the pack, I guess, doesn't make it easier.
Definitely not, as these guys are all basically bouncing off of each other a little bit. Looks like Michael Matta slid up and kind of tried to, I'd say side draft, but doored the 2 there a little bit, and they start backing up some more. You can just see how, just because of how flat the track is, how everybody keeps sliding up a little bit and getting into the driver's side doors, the car that's on their high side there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the battle continues to rage just outside the top 10 to the inside line. You can see David Hanna, the lap car, the 28. All the drivers going by David now, as this is a battle out around the 12th, 13th, and 14th positions.
Yeah, Lilith Peters, Mike Peters, Bruno Latour, Ryan Farrell, all going at each other here. Jonathan Casebear just in front of them.
Man, all we need is Lefevers, and it would have been perfect. But these drivers back here are doing a really good job just duking it out. And yeah, there's a lot of leaning on one another, Mike, but they're not wrecking each other. So tip of the cap to these drivers back here just outside the top 10.
Yeah, they're definitely getting that run, and you know, at least they're hitting each other almost
Mike
gently
Peters.
as Mike Peters goes into the wall.
Wow, that was a hard hit.
That outside wall just reaches up and grabs Peters again.
Well, I think that second time around, he got a little bit of help from Matthew McMeekin. I don't think a toe link broke on that machine, but Matthew McMeekin was all over the back bumper of Mike Peters going into turn 1 and booped him into the fence.
Go back towards the front here.
Oh my goodness, they're still bouncing off of each other up here, Mike.
Austin Cole, Michael Matta.
Yeah, this is a battle here for the 10th position. Matta has it, Call wants it. They're all back behind Todd Merkel here in the 2 machine. We saw that 40 car of Ryan Farrell up front early in this contest. He decided he wanted to go down pit road. Now he's got a good view of what's going on in front of him.
It looked like Austin Cole had a heck of a run there, and then all of a sudden he just didn't have the speed it looked like he was going to have as Todd Merkel drove away from him. Now he's still side by side with Matta.
Yeah, Matta, I've been watching that 16 machine. He's been doing a pretty good job at just kind of hanging on the outside. As you can see, he's actually going to try to get around Todd Merkel on the outside. This is a power move from Matta here. You don't make a lot of passes at Gateway on the top side, and partially because that wall wants to grab you, but it looks like they're going to do it.
Looks like Merkel's about ready to get freight trained with that outside line, because Matta goes by, Call goes by, and looks like Farrell's going to try to as well. And Lilith Peters is sitting back there too, as she gets almost into that outside wall coming off of 2 again.
Well, Peters thought about making it 3 wide back there, thought better of it. And now all 4 of these drivers will get by Todd Merkel. Looks like Michael Matta is now getting passed by 1 driver, not 2.
Yep. Austin Call was able to get by, and Matta blocked the other Farrell there, but Farrell goes down to the inside. Matta, Farrell side by side. See if he's going to be able to complete this pass here as they slide up the track, but don't quite touch. Matta gets clear, and Farrell jumps behind him.
Yeah, that top line tends to work for Matta in that 16 machine, just as long as there's not a driver in front of him also using that line. Your car can get super aero tight up there. You don't want to be up there when there's a person in front of you. You want that clean air in front of you, being able to rotate the center of the corner. He's about the only guy in the field I've been able to see do that consistent.
Yeah, definitely. As you see back here in the pack, you have McMeekin, Latour, and Wagman here. Wagman goes to the high side, going to see if he can get past Latour, but looks like they're still going to be battling coming off of 2 here, still side by side.
And for anybody wondering why we are focusing on these very intense battles outside the top 10, it's because your leader, Justin Lewis, he's in his own zip code at the moment. He is by himself, cruising away from the field.
Yeah, I got over a 3-second lead right now to Maxwell Caldwell. And Barrett Flo still hanging on to the back end there. Got a little bit of a battle back here for 3rd, 4th, and 5th between Love, Dalton, and Horton.
Yeah, it looked like Horton was sort of holding up those 2 here on the later part of this run. You could see just how quickly 4th and 5th get by him. But now I'm sure Horton's going to have a mirror full here of a couple other heavy hitters. Ooh, Schlosser sideways.
Have the Fevers back here. Up
There
1
he is.
spot.
I'm rooting for it. It's not close to happening, but it's in the cards. So as long as they all keep running, Peters, Lefevers, I'm here for it.
Lee Campbell is still on track after an early race incident here. Couple laps down after getting that damage repaired. David Hanna also towards the back here, after getting his damage repaired, still out running. Mike Peters is the last car on the lead lap.
That car is very, very hurt, Mike. We saw earlier on in the run that splitter was crinkled, but for as many times as he hit that outside fence, I'm sure he's hoping for a caution, but he's hoping he's not the reason for it.
Yeah, you can see that that nose is just beyond all repair there. A little crinkled.
Yeah, legend would say that there is a inverse version of that on the bumper of somebody out here. So it's not Justin Lewis, though. He's cruising away, and even the battle for second here is a little more tame between Caldwell and Flo.
Yeah, 2 by 2 this back 2 here. You got Dalton and Love. Then you got Horton and Schlosser. You go back and you have Lefevers pretty much running by himself, a second in front, second behind. Austin Call and Ryan Farrell making their way around the lapped car there.
Yeah, I've been watching Call and Farrell. I've been watching their lap times. They're doing a really good job at working together, trying not to hold one another up. I like the position that Farrell is in. Make Austin do all the heavy lifting. It is hard to pass here. It's hard to kind of pry open the bottom of the racetrack if that's where you're going to pass. And if you're Farrell, you go, oh, all right, Call. I'll let you do all the hard work, and I'll just squeeze on by every time you want to pass somebody.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you got plenty of time, so just hang out, work around the guys that are with you. As this 38 machine makes his way past Todd Merkel there. Saw him get involved a little bit. A little bit of a incident on track there.
A lot of it. That 38 machine was hard into the outside fence, and good rebound here early by Zachary Archer. Things are getting a little spicy here between Todd Merkel and Matthew McMeekin here, as Todd's got that low line. You need a crowbar if you want Todd Merkel to get off the bottom line. So I think you're going to have to pass him around the outside. We've seen a number of drivers do it, but it's just not the most comfortable of passes to make.
Oh, definitely not. But he is not going anywhere but to that bottom line. The only way you can pass him on the low line is if you beat him to it, and that's not going to happen for McMeekin right now.
Yeah, look at how different those two drivers attacked the shorter end of the racetrack. One focused on corner entry, the other focused on exit, and they're dead even now going into turns 3 and turns 4. Again, this is a battle for the 14th position, and we cover this because, well, there's not too many other battles happening on track right now.
Now everybody's pretty well settled down here as these guys work their way through these laps. It looks like the gap from Justin Lewis to Maxwell Caldwell is shrinking ever so slightly, but not really enough, because it's still over 2.5 seconds.
Oh!
As Justin Lewis hits that outside wall. And
I'm telling him, you jinxed him.
Oh, no. It's amazing how that happens.
Yep, definitely. If you are the leader in any one of these series, just make sure Mike is not the one talking about you. And again, that's Mike. That's not Zach up here cursing drivers. So, but it looks like he's rebounded pretty well. Kind of stopped the bleeding there.
Yeah, his gap's still over 2 seconds. Maxwell Caldwell is looks like he's still losing time now after Justin Lewis rebounds here. Barrett Flo still hanging on Trevor Dalton as well. Isaac Love has lost Dalton there, but Justin Horton's not too far behind.
I feel like these drivers are pairing up with a buddy trying to move through the field, and yeah, they're working pretty well together right now.
And as we do that, we're going to step aside for our first commercial break, let you guys watch these guys make some laps here, and we'll be back right after this. All right, welcome back, everybody, to SCL Winston Cup action here. As you saw while we were away, Lilith Peters and Johnny Lefevers have started to make Zach's wish come true here.
Some would argue, Mike, that is the most important thing that's happening on the racetrack right at this moment. But more sober minds would probably say, hey, Barrett Flo pitted. You should probably talk about him. So we did see during commercial break that number 92 machine go down pit road. So the window is open, and we're going to start comparing lap times between Barrett Flo and the leader, Justin Lewis, and see how substantial tires are here at Gateway.
Definitely. And as we went to commercial break, Justin Lewis had over a 2-second lead. Now it's down to just over a second. So we'll see if he's going to start slowing down a little bit and maybe see if he can stretch the tire run just a bit to make it to that halfway mark.
Yeah, something interesting, Mike, is that depending on the fuel load of these cars, we saw Justin Lewis come in. Yeah, Justin Lewis. We saw Barrett Flo, there we go, come in around the lap 39, lap 40 mark. That's not good enough, right? 40 plus 40 is 80, plus 40 more is 120, and well, there's 125 laps in this thing, so it does behoove you to go a little bit further. So I know Barrett's trying to undercut some of the competition in front of him, but he might shortchange himself come the end of this race.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what those lap times do become, as Jonathan Casebear also in the pits. Last lap for Barrett Flo was a 34.98 as Matt Flosher.
Did he downshift trying to? No, now he's going down pit road again. He might have gotten an unsafe pit exit if he was trying to go down pit road, although timing and scoring indicates that he has not made an attempt to go down pit road. I wonder what happened to this 400 machine on the backstretch. He was pretty much parked. Ooh, just all by himself.
Wow. Yeah, all by himself, went inside, outside, and now is on pit road. As is Michael Matta.
For our viewers at home, they might be watching that and going, why in the world is that not a caution? And for some of the leagues that we cover, as you can see here, a battle for the lead between the 94 and 07 as they play nice and sort each other out. It's that if iRacing witnesses a crash that happens off the racing surface, more than likely, if it's a single car incident, they won't throw the caution. So that's why no yellow was displayed there.
Yeah, definitely not. And as this battle is heating up here, we'll see how many more laps these guys elect to go. Trevor Dalton slides up the racetrack back in third position here. Still trying to hang on to the back bumper of Caldwell there.
Yeah, I've been watching Justin Lewis over the last few laps. Just really, really tight right now, trying to hold on to this machine. Look how high that 07 now drifts up into the corner. Caldwell able to get to his inside, and Lewis hard into the fence. Caldwell did good enough to avoid it. And I think we might see the 07 down pit road.
I would bet we're going to see him pretty quick here. Yep,
there
on pit road he goes.
And Gateway pit entry is so different than many of our traditional NASCAR events, where you have to go in onto the pit road entry around that turn 3 mark and keep up as much speed as you can, making that sharper turn without spinning out the race car. And that is an art within itself.
Definitely is. Lilith Peters also in pit lane. Trevor Dalton makes the pass here as Caldwell heads to pit lane.
Looks like Trevor Dalton is now going to lead this lap. Remember, in the SCL Winston Cup Series, they follow the old Winston Cup Series point system, which means if you lead the most laps, you get bonus points. If you lead a lap, you get a bonus point. So for viewers that might be watching going, okay, why in the world is Trevor Dalton stretching this out so long? Well, this is his avenue to gain a point, to gain an extra point on the field. For drivers taking a look through a number of these drivers who are maybe on a different pit cycle, I look at like a Matthew McMeekin or a Zachary Archer even back there in 5th place. He was in a wreck earlier. Well, if he could cycle out and lead a lap, that's a whole nother bonus point to your day. And that could definitely bode well for you later on in the season.
Yeah, it definitely could, as looks like he's around a couple other drivers that pitted early too. Austin Call, Zachary Archer, McMeekin, all those guys pitted on lap 7. So if somebody's gonna stay out a little bit longer and get that bonus point, Austin Call probably will, and he probably needs it, as you said, we haven't seen him in SCL competition in a couple weeks, I do believe.
Yes, Justin Lewis has made it very apparent in his post-race interviews to talk about how his buddy Austin Call is not around. And so it's been good to see that 18 out there slicing and dicing this week. But he's definitely holding on right now. Some of these drivers who have not pitted yet, they're hurting right now. Lap 49 is not a fun place to be.
And definitely Trevor Dalton's still staying out. We'll see how long he elects to go, but I don't envision there's any way he's making it to 63 laps, though.
Oh, no. I don't think so. Been wrong before, but I think that's a safe bet for us up here in the booth today. As you can see, Maxwell Caldwell just barreling down on him right now on fresh tires, looking to get his lap back from Trevor Dalton here. Caldwell is in the 11th position. Here's Justin Lewis.
Justin Lewis just ran the fastest lap of the race of 34.51. Trevor Dalton's last lap was a 35.89, so tons of time.
Oh,
given
Bruno
up.
Latour sideways. He's into the 07, and that is a caution. Oh, my goodness.
Justin Lewis has got to be, like, kicking himself.
Oh, and the pit strategy is going to work out fantastic for guys like Trevor Dalton, Ryan Farrell, Austin Call, and Matthew McMeekin, Todd Merkel, Will Salamone there in the 43 car. We saw him not too long ago, but yes, an incident here will certainly change the complexion of this race.
Definitely will.
Latour just sending it. There's no other words for it.
Yep, slides up into the 43 there. Justin Lewis trying to take evasive action here to minimize the damage. Looks like he probably does, just gets that glancing blow there.
Yeah.
But that is definitely not something he wanted to see. Let's see if we can take a look here.
And I actually think if Lewis doesn't dive it down in here, I think Bruno's got a pretty decent shot at saving this, but we'll just never know because they do touch
just a little bit there. Sends him into the outside wall after that contact.
Ooh. David Hanna. Wow.
David Hanna just, wow.
So I did see that David Hanna was given an EOL, and I was questioning, because this is not the first time 28 has had an EOL penalty, as you remember earlier on in the race. Hanna was caught up in an incident, was attributed the blame, and was given the EOL. But on my monitor here, it says David Hanna was given an EOL penalty. I was like, oh, well, that's from earlier. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Nope.
Now we know why.
Just didn't turn that wheel a little bit further left.
Yeah, and you talked about it earlier, Mike. On any other track, other than like a New Hampshire, you would expect that if there's a wreck, the track self cleans itself, right? And drivers go from the top line, they wreck up towards the wall, and they wash down the racetrack and find themselves sitting on the inside lane. That does not happen at Gateway, and it's just not naturally inclined to pan out that way. This track is flat enough where if you wreck by the outside fence, you most definitely could just stay up there. And whether Latour held his brakes or not, I don't think it really meant anything. But for some drivers, you just naturally expect, all right, if there's a wreck in turns 3 and 4, they're going to wash down the racetrack, and that means I need to go high. So perhaps that was the instance for David Hanna. We're not going to know, but absolutely a preventable situation there.
Oh, he didn't get an EOL for the contact. He got an EOL because he couldn't maintain pace speed, is what RC's saying.
Ah, okay. Well, thank you, RC. We appreciate the clarity. Regardless, that was a huge hit.
Definitely it was. But as I was looking back through the field here, Barrett Flo came down pit lane there on lap 53 and topped it off with fuel. So he's got 8 laps or so more fuel than Justin Lewis does.
Huh. Interesting. Barrett did pit early in that last pit cycle, so we're going to have to see where this varying strategy winds up. You got some drivers up front who've only pitted once tonight. Multiple drivers behind them have pitted twice. This is shaping up to be your typical SCL Cup race with different strategies and different, different stories that are going to play out that we're just not going to know which one is the best until the very end.
Definitely. It looked like several drivers took the wave around there, but they couldn't catch back up to the field, so they had to throw another lap there on to get the field set right. Looks like they need to stack it up again so we can get this thing back under green flag racing here.
Yeah, so taking a look here up front, you have the familiar pairing of Justin Lewis and Maxwell Caldwell. Ryan Farrell, we talked about during qualifying, that 40 machine is very, very quick. So he's not disappointing. He's up here in third and fourth, rather, side by side with Trevor Dalton. And then back behind them, we have Austin Call and Matthew McMeekin.
We're going to get them stacked up here. We'll see how much damage that 07 has as they bring it to the Geico restart zone to get this race back under green. Justin Lewis slows them down, waits almost to the end of that restart zone, and drives away out to already almost a half-second lead. Maxwell Caldwell in second, Trevor Dalton down to the inside of Farrell.
Yeah, Caldwell wanted to put that car right on the bottom line, wasn't able to do it because Trevor Dalton was to his inside. It's not going to matter, though, as Dalton's going to free fall now to the fourth position. Had a shot to get second, but now is going to settle in behind Farrell. And it looks like the front dozen or so are now single file.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's kind of figured out where they're going to be. Go back towards Lilith Peters here battling Zachary Archer.
For 12th, that wasn't a bad eyeball guess at all. So your first side-by-side actions for 12th. So these drivers are still trying to sort it out. Lilith Peters at the start of this contest had to go down pit road, serve a pit road penalty, and then has just kind of been mired back here in traffic, not able to make up the track position lost.
Yeah, we kind of talked about it early. I mean, there's hardly any place really to pass, and if you do, you have to be right on it. You can't just kind of let it kind of come to you like you do at some of the other oval tracks.
Yeah, and it's got to be really frustrating, right? You see this line here down the backstretch, and although it's not incredibly emphasized, you have to talk about the draft here and understanding that, hey, there is a pull between these drivers going down each straight. And if you're on the inside, you're going to, oh no, oh my goodness, how did they all save it?
Wow.
Unbelievable save, one by Craig Forsythe in the 53 machine. No, they're still wrecking. Michael Matta getting into the 53. Wow, they all keep it straight. I don't know how to commentate this, Mike. It's that was like 3 wrecks that didn't happen.
Wow. Craig Forsythe was saving it as best as he could, and it looked like the 45 there of Johnny Lefevre's was up in that outside wall.
Oh, it was Michael Matta.
Was it Matta? It was in front of him.
Yes.
Very similar red and black paint schemes.
Yeah, they're not going to fool us, Mike. We know.
Oh, Barrett Flo just caked that outside wall.
What is going on towards the back of the field? You can see they're passing the slower car of David Hanna. Man, Barrett Flo, who was one of the favorites tonight, still shuffled back here in traffic, having a ton of problems.
Wow. That was a hairy couple laps there. But we're still green.
I know. How crazy is that? Meanwhile, Justin Lewis is pulling away from now Ryan Farrell, who's in second. Took that away from Maxwell Caldwell. Watch out for that 40 machine trying to make some hay.
Now Justin Lewis ran the fastest lap of the race a couple laps ago, 34.36. Kind of slowed down just a little bit here. Ryan Farrell closing in with that second place. And then we got, Maxwell Caldwell. He's been pretty fast after last week. He is going to try and bounce back and have a tremendous points day today. Kind of talked about Trevor Dalton. He always seems to be pretty quick in that 30 Miller Genuine Draft machine, but doesn't seem to quite have the pace lately at the end of the race, but we'll see if that changes today at Gateway.
Yeah, behind Trevor Dalton, we have Austin Call. We've mentioned him quite a bit tonight just because that 18's been absent for the last few weeks here in SCL competition. Good to see that Liquid Death number 18 out here cruising. And then, Mike, we have a trio of drivers. It's a feel-good story right now based off of strategy. Matthew McMeekin here in the 041 machine. He always tends to be pretty quick, but right now a very strong run here in the 6th position. And then behind these guys, we saw Todd Merkel fended off about 15th with a stick earlier tonight, and he's up here battling in the 7th position. Behind him, another good story, Will Salamone in that 43 Guns N' Roses paint scheme. Very strong run. Almost just saw him get caught up in that Bruno Latour incident a few laps ago. So a trio of drivers here that are doing really, really good job here around lap 65.
Yeah, definitely they are. See, we have any real close battles looking through the field here. Barrett Flo was able to kind of right the ship a little bit here as he made the pass on Michael Matta, looking to get to Johnny Lefevers and Dave Wagman here.
Yeah, we saw, you see that 400 machine, Slosher. He was in the mix early on, kind of flexing his muscle up front. Couple incidences have caught him unawares. He's back in the 20th position now.
And we'll see how that all shakes out, but Justin Lewis is back up front, and apparently the little bit of contact he has done nothing to that car, as he still has a half-second lead over Ryan Farrell. Farrell has a little over a second lead on Caldwell and Dalton, and then Call and McMeekin as we look through the field.
Yeah, this battle here. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
I'll say, as we looked, it looks like they're getting a little bit closer there, these four drivers here.
Oh, I was just about to say the same thing. So the battle tends to be back here for the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth positions, as there is a yellow on track. We're going to have to see where that has come from. Ronnie Hart. A lazy spin off of two. Ooh, that was Jonathan Casebeer just barely getting by.
Almost went into the hole there.
Yeah, and these drivers now, I think, yeah, I was going to say pit road's going to be pretty busy. If I were to guess, we're all going to have the same strategy now.
Yep, gonna be pretty close. It'll be close if they can make it to the end.
Yeah, well, you got to remember earlier on in this race, Barrett Flo did come down pit road on lap 39 for his first pit stop. So, but we did see drivers stay out as long as that caution that came out that jumbled up this field. So,
yeah, Trevor Dalton stayed out for 53 laps, so it'll be close.
Yeah, and with these yellows, I think you'll be able to save here at a track like Gateway. So being able to do that well is going to be smart. And a number of these drivers, you're going to look at timing and scoring right now. I think we're looking at a few wave around drivers with timing and scoring. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, and I fully expect to be wrong again.
I was just looking through here. It looks like they just stayed out, if I'm not mistaken. At least from the 39 machine.
Well, they have to if they want to wave around. So, and I know our timing and scoring doesn't really appreciate wave arounds very often. So we're going to have to see how this sorts itself out. But I think you might be right here when it comes to the 39, the 53, and the 05 machine, who we just saw barely squeeze by that last wreck.
The 014 Lee Campbell looks like he's going to stay out and take the wave around, try and get back on the... well, he won't get on the lead lap. He'll get a lap back anyway.
Yeah, and I like this move, Mike, with Campbell here, trying to just be aggressive, leapfrog a couple guys that he's racing around and gain a lap at some point in this race. Gamble on yourself. Say that there might be another yellow that comes out, then he can go down pit road and pit again. So that's what he's hoping for now in the next few laps. but I'm officially ready to admit I was wrong. Looks like Derek Wegman, Craig Forsyth, Jonathan Casebeer will be your new top 3 here at Gateway. This is going to be really interesting.
Well, you say interesting. I don't know how interesting it will be with how fast the 07, the 40, and the 94 were.
Well, Mike, that's just me being nice. I don't have to have a crystal ball to maybe envision what is going to happen. But I think it's going to be interesting for drivers like Austin Call, like a Trevor Dalton. You know, they're not the best cars in the field tonight, but they are sporty. They are one of the probably top 5 drivers tonight. How are they going to navigate not just the drivers that are up front, this trio, but the drivers around them as they try to make their way past these guys? So just pay attention to some of those drivers deeper on in the field.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the 39 gets a point for leading a lap. He was pretty quick earlier. He'll lead the field to this green flag as they come out of turn 4, head to that Geico restart zone. And wait for it. He's off and away about halfway through the restart zone. He gets a pretty good jump, does Wagman. Craig Forsyth hanging with him, and we'll see what Justin Lewis does.
Forsyth does a really good job, actually, on that restart to jump on out there and be competitive. So kudos to him on that restart as Justin Lewis just says, hey, I'm just going to butt through here and try to get the lead back as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh! Into the fence! He cooked turn 3 up the fence. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm more surprised than
64 is around.
Oh, and we're still green, Mike. How many times will this happen tonight? Oh, Lilith Peters in the
Peters
fence.
in the wall.
It just never stops, Mike. Here we are again. Oh no!
Todd Merkel, Mike Peters.
Lilith Peters. There's Justin Lewis involved. Zachary Archer gonna squeeze on by, slosh her through the grass. Oh my goodness. Mike, they wrecked almost continuously for 2 laps straight, and they finally bring out the yellow.
Holy crap. All right. We're going to have to rewind that because...
Yes, this particular incident started between the 95 and the 2 machine. Take a look. See the 95, he's sort of peeking there. He's going to make a dive, but he's not clear.
Nope, hits that left rear quarter panel.
Yep. Look at Casebeer again. Just barely getting by.
Peters on Peters there. And Justin Lewis has nowhere to go.
Yeah, he's trying everything he can to avoid this wreck and nowhere to go. There's Lefevre's going around the inside.
Beavers got by Peters.
And Peters.
Let's go back a little ways further.
Yeah, I mean, here's Lilith Peters having some misfortune on the back end of this. You can see the 64 also getting sideways. You have Justin Lewis up in front of all this. He's getting involved into the fence.
You have it almost 4 wide as Austin Call was looking for somewhere to go.
There's Peters, really aggressive on corner entry. Look at that, Austin Call even gives...
right on the back bumper of Peters there.
And then Merkel actually, he gets a little sideways coming out of turn 2. But no worse for wear. Yeah, just misjudged corner entry. Look at Schlosser
crazy.
sideways through the grass there. Appreciate the 400 machine drifting through the grass trying to avoid that. Meanwhile, at all the mayhem.
Here's the 94 machine.
Yeah, here's boom, just like he planned it, right? Up front, in front of Ryan Farrell. So there was a battle at some point that happened, but we were trying to cover Justin Lewis. All this really started from Justin Lewis missing corner entry on one end of the racetrack, and it all just kind of slinkied down through the field, and it's going to result in Maxwell Caldwell getting the lead.
But it is where it is. Pace lights are out. They're going to get stacked up here.
So although she was involved in that previous incident, Lilith Peters back here in that 101 machine, still rolling, as well as Todd Merkel. So Merkel got some rear end contact on that incident. Doesn't look to be anything huge in terms of detrimental on that 2 machine. So that third row, battered and bruised as they are, they're going to continue to soldier on.
Yeah, definitely. We just have to tell Justin Lewis that we can't talk about him when he's leading the race anymore.
I mean,
I believe you were talking about him that time.
No, I don't remember such things. It's 2 by 2 they come. Lights are off on the pace car. It's going to be a pair of bow ties leading the field. Behind them, 2 Toyotas. So some variety for you fans watching on YouTube. Maxwell Caldwell is going to lead the field in that under pressure washer machine. He's going to have the button, waits to the very end of the Geico restart zone, and doesn't get as big of a launch as we've seen other leaders tonight.
It definitely does not. And Burrell staying right to his outside.
Side by side, everybody trying to behave, coming off of turn 2. You can see the run that the outside gets here, as Farrell's now going to take a peek for the lead on the outside.
Slides up the racetrack.
And we have another yellow. And I think Derek Wegman's involved. Just taking a look at timing and scoring here. Oh, Matt Schlosser. Zachary Archer here on the rumble strips. Ooh, Isaac Love in there. Justin Lewis had a front row seat to all this.
See what it's like from the 07's point of view here.
See, they're all sort of stacking up in front of him.
Mata looks like he just barely gonna squeeze it through there.
Yep.
So Zachary Archer gets on those rumble strips, gets loose, and brings out the caution in front of the back half of the field. Looks like Justin Lewis is headed down pit lane.
So I got to thinking here, Mike, under this yellow flag here, as we are pushing into the 80s now in terms of our laps tonight. I got to thinking about whose fault this all is. And it's not yours. and it's not mine. I think it's the boss man of SCL competition, Josh Jarrett Hill. I think this is all his fault, because earlier on in this contest, you know, he was just kind of sitting on his hands, watching the world go by. He's the RC of tonight's event. He's certainly got a lot to do now, doesn't he?
Yeah, these last few laps, he definitely has lots to look at.
Yeah, absolutely. So we will absolve ourselves up here in the booth of all guilt and transfer it to our good buddy Josh Jarrett Hill. We kid. We love you, Josh. We love SCL competition here at Sim Racing Media. We know that you guys are sponsored by great partners like Under Pressure Washing Services, the company run by SCL Winston Cup Series driver Chris Vanderplatz. Chris not able to make it here tonight, but his company is on board with Maxwell Caldwell. And at the end of every event, we try to give out the Tough Luck Award, sponsored by Under Pressure Washing Services. We have a number of candidates, don't we?
Yeah, this one's going to be a little hard. I think last week we might have given out a little bit too early, but we'll see what happens here. Never know what's going to happen.
I ain't touching this thing until it's over, Mike. I'm not making that same mistake again.
I mean, we almost had one at the very first, drop of the green flag there, as Lilith Peters got that black flag and had to go down pit road. But she's back up into 6th position now.
Absolutely. Yeah, Lilith has done a pretty good job managing the one-on-one. It's not been a perfect night for certain, because we've seen that one-on-one machine in its fair share of incidences, but the mountain has not been climbed yet. -4 from where she started tonight. Almost there, though. Almost there.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it.
And the front row will feature Maxwell Caldwell, 2-time defending champion. And along his outside, a driver we mentioned at the very top of the show. He can be very quick. But we've seen multiple times, Mike, up here in the booth, for these races in the SCL Cup Series competition, if they run too long, Ryan does have a history of needing to be somewhere. So he tends to... He's given away wins before, right? And we could have that happen tonight if there's more yellows. Watch out for time restraints there on the 40 machine.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to talk about more yellows here as these guys are stacked back up again. 94 of Maxwell Caldwell. We'll see if he can get a better jump than he did last time as he brings them to the Geico restart zone. Looks like he's waiting on it just a little bit here, and he's down and away. Gets a little bit better jump, but Ryan Farrell is not letting him go as they battle into turn 1.
Yeah, Farrell got a nice little bump there from Austin Cole on that restart. Was able to sort of propel him into the corner, but maybe a little bit too hot for that 40 machine, as he's now side by side with Trevor Dalton down the backstretch.
Ooh, Farrell goes to the inside, then back to the outside. Going to try and make the pass here on Caldwell. Side by side they go, and side by side they are for second with Call and Dalton, as Dalton gets the position there.
Oh!
Caldwell into the outside wall.
Saved it. Oh.
Okay.
What a save.
They must feel sorry because they are saving some stuff that there's no way they should be saving, as the 16 and 45 go side by side there as well. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. We saw an okie doke there for the lead, by the way. Ryan Farrell peeking to the inside, jumping out to the outside, forcing Caldwell to adjust on that low line, put way too much wheel into it on exit. And look at these cars dodging and weaving here outside the top 10.
They are all over the place as Barrett Flow takes P4 away from Lilith Peters. Lilith Peters down to the inside, going to try and battle back down low as Flow flows high.
Flows high. You make fun of me for the Lefevre stuff, but Lefevre's back here. I'm trying to compose myself, Mike. I'm trying really hard. But here's Lefevre's looking to the outside of the 43 machine. He's going to lose it on exit. A lot of action here going on these restarts.
And these restarts are action-packed as Justin Lewis is trying to work his way back up through the field. Gets 3 wide there. Schlosser down to the inside. And Matta to the high side. And looks like they're able to stay off of each other, and we stay green still.
They are 3 wide here at Gateway, and nobody's apologizing for it. Justin Lewis is trying to carve his way back up through the field and make up for lost time after that previous incident. He right now is sitting 12th. There's a Hornet's nest behind him. Goodness.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd want to be back there either, as Matta and Love are battling back here. As Love goes sideways, saves it. Sideways in front of half of the field, and is able to ride it out there. Yes, he lost some spots, but we stay green, and he's still on the lead lap.
Yeah, Will Salomon here trying to hunt down Michael Matta. This is a battle for the 13th and 14th position, respectively. Up the racetrack goes Matta, and the 43 now dives down to the inside. Jonathan Casebeer now enters the fray. Back up in front of these drivers. This is a battle just outside the top 10. You have the 400 machine of Matt Schlosser trying to dig hard. You have Craig Forsythe back here. Todd Merkel in the fence, getting pushed now by Justin Lewis.
Now Justin Lewis down to the inside, going to try and get with Schlosser here to go around Merkel. Merkel is not where he likes to be, as the 07 gives a little bit of a bumper to the 400 machine going through the corner there. And they will both, looks like they'll both probably clear Merkel here momentarily.
Yeah, Lewis here wanting to get back inside the top 10. This is a battle for the 11th position. The 2 of Merkel lets him go. As back up front, I think I see Barrett Flo. And yes, Barrett Flo, Lilith Peters, Austin Call. These 3 have been duking it out here for the last lap or so.
Yeah, Austin Call floated that corner high and winds up going back a couple positions there. Not where he wants to be there either.
Peters all the way up. These drivers are
sliding up the wall, almost trying to pull the old Chastain move there.
I don't really know how to explain it, Mike. These drivers are driving so hard into 1 and 2. They're missing the corner, and yet they decide, okay, well, I'm going to make my straightaway as straight as possible. They diamond it off and then just fly off a turn 2 down the backstretch, but they overdrive turn 1 fairly consistently.
They definitely do. As Todd Merkel's going backwards here, as Will Simone able to get by him. Merkel out into that outside wall. Looks like he's going to give up a couple more positions here. Isaac Love, Ronnie Hurst, Zachary Archer looks like there. 014 of Lee Campbell. Doing a good job battling back here a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of these drivers not having the day that they wanted, but back up front, you have Ryan Farrell able to keep kind of that 3, 4, 5 car length lead over Trevor Dalton pretty consistently. I'm curious to see if the 30 and 92 kind of put their differences aside and work together to make this gap disappear between first and the rest of the field.
Definitely, we'll see what that looks like once they sort it out at all here, but I think they might kind of be working together. It looks like Barrett Flo's trying to get on to the rear bumper of Dalton there. He's got Lilith Peters behind him and Maxwell Caldwell moving back up through the field after having a little issue there at the beginning of this green flag round.
Yeah, really impressed with Maxwell Caldwell being able to rebound very quickly to come back up through the field. We would say that Justin Lewis has also trying to do the exact same thing, but he's definitely not flying through the field as expected. He's stuck here behind Craig Forsythe, just outside the top 10 and 11th.
Yeah, he is stuck back there, but he did come down and pit on lap 80. So we know he is good to go on fuel.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And these drivers
Ryan Farrell and Trevor Dalton last pit on lap 69. I know we've had some cautions, so they might be able to make it. So we'll see what happens as far as that goes.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we're kind of in a space, Mike, as we were earlier in this race, where these drivers have spaced out. Things have sort of calmed down. They're finding their rhythm. They're finding their groove. And I think we might be treated to a long green flag run here.
Yeah, and as you say that, I'm going to say we're going to step aside for our second break of the night, and when we come back, we'll bring you the rest of the race here in the SCL Winston Cup Series from Gateway. We'll be right back. You won't miss anything as we go side by side.
Up.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the SCL Winston Cup Series. As we were away, you did see a battle here for the third position. Lilith Peters back towards the front.
Yeah, who qualified second. Peters getting a penalty on lap 1 for a restart violation, or so we think. And ultimately is finally, right, lap 102 is made it back to third. It's been a long climb here for that 101, but almost there.
Yeah, definitely almost there. Looking back through the field, Barrett Flo in fourth. Maxwell Caldwell still hanging on for fifth. Johnny Lefevers is in sixth. Austin Call, seventh. Justin Horton in 8th. Matt Schlosser, after being involved in an early incident, is back up into 9th. And Craig Forsyth up 12 positions, currently inside the top 10.
Yeah, great run here by Craig, as we saw the 53 get involved in an incident earlier in this race, but he's done a really good job here hanging on to 10th place. As you can see, Michael Matta going to the outside of Justin Lewis. That 07's fading now.
Yeah, that 07 looks like it might be hurt, but we'll see what he's doing. He did spend an extended amount of time in his pit lane the last time he was down.
Yeah, remember that 07 was caught up in an incident earlier, trying to dodge an incident. It was gonna cycle back around to him being the leader. It really shuffled up this event, put different players up front, and Lewis has not been able to rebound.
He has not. Ryan Farrell here is counting down the seconds. We'll see if he's going to be able to hang on here, or if Trevor Dalton's going to inherit the lead.
Yeah, Farrell's doing a really good job at just being smooth, being consistent. We've seen so many drivers overdrive this particular end of the racetrack, but not the case out of this 40 machine. He's done a really good job of being super smooth. As that battle for third just won't quit, Barrett Flo is now back around Lilith Peters, making the pass.
Yeah, they are not going away from each other right now, as Michael Matta got rid of Justin Lewis and made the pass on Craig Forsyth here for that 10th position. Gonna look to get another top 10 this week.
Yeah, don't look now, but that 16 machine is one of the quicker machines on the racetrack right now. Past Justin Lewis a few laps ago. You just said past Craig Forsyth. He's found something late in this run, and if this stays green, that will bode well for him.
And we think everybody should be pretty good on fuel here, so
for any Zachary Archer vans, rooters of the 38 machine, just know that he has disconnected from the session. I've seen that 38 make a few really nice moves tonight, but also getting involved in a few incidences. So anybody out there rooting for Zach, you're gonna have to tune in next week.
it looks like he will probably wind up finishing 21st, it looks like, as Mike Peters is disconnected, Matthew McMeekin as well, Bruno Latour. All of those guys have elected to call it a night, so he won't go any further back than where he is right now in P21. Trevor Dalton up into the wall.
Wow.
We've seen that repeatedly. It is...
Yes.
I think the wall is going to have some... have more cars on it than anybody else here.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see Barrett Flo, he's probably looking out of his mirror right now saying, Max, if you can come up here and mess around with Lilith, I would greatly appreciate it. Because he's trying his best to run away from this battle, and he's just not able to do it. But perhaps with Caldwell now entering the fray, he'll have better luck.
Yeah, it definitely looks like Caldwell's going to start working on Lilith Peters here.
As they follow each other into the wall. I cannot tell you, Mike, how many times I've done that personally on the sim. That gets me so angry. It's like I trusted you to run the line, and you've doomed us both. But no worse for wear. They continue to chug along.
Yeah, nothing really going on there at the moment.
Ooh, maybe.
Caldwell
taking
trying.
a peek.
Got the nose underneath. Side by side down the backstretch they go. See if Caldwell's going to be able to make that pass here. And he does. Might carry a little bit too much speed in the corner, but he gets it slowed up just enough. Lilith Peters on his back bumper, though. see if she's going to try and cross him over here. Does not look like it, as she's just going to follow him down the back straight, or down the front straight, sorry.
And it looks like Caldwell's car is really handling pretty well right now. It takes a really good handling car to be able to kind of, as you can see, Peter's right there sideways off of turn 2. But that pass was started on the turn 1, turn 2 side, as there is a yellow. There's a yellow out right now. Trying to see where it is on track.
That one.
I was going to say, not this one. This is Austin Call. Just a little loose there on exit. Too much throttle into it. And are we going to see an overcorrection?
Yep.
Yes. Yes, we will. Locks it down. Long spin on the racing surface. And that is why we are under yellow once again. Oh yeah, pit road's going to be as busy as it's ever been. These drivers going down pit road right now, all cashing in. Going to be curious to see if anybody misses their box. Yeah. Austin Call, yeah, he's up front right now. He's probably going to get an EOL. So. Will Salamone, though, stays out in that 43. Oh, man. Was it to get the bonus point? Because if that's the case, he's gonna have a shot to get it now with Call pulling over, as he does receive an EOL. Or does this 43 stay out?
Looks like he's staying out.
Wow. New challenger has appeared. The driver, the number 43, Will Salamone, up front now. And we're gonna go green with about 10 laps to go here, Mike. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't love this call, just simply because restarts on old tires here at Gateway is extremely hard to do. And everybody behind you was able to get tires. So I love the spunk. I love the chance, but this strategy really only works if you have a handful of guys going with you.
Yeah, definitely.
So you see the drivers up in front of the 43, David Hanna, and then the 39 as well. And that is help me out, Mike. Help me out, Mike.
What?
Is that Ronnie Hart? Ronnie Hart in the 39?
Nope.
No.
39 is Derek Wegman.
Oh, thank you. For the life of me, I couldn't remember. Yes, there it is. All right, so does pull down to the inside. You can see him now. He's on the access road, the 43 machine, and it looks like he's going to be able to go down pit road. So he was staying out for the point to lead the lap. So there you go. Now we're all back to normal.
Well, back to normal's an understatement here, but
well, I mean, the competitors that we have assumed to be up front are back up front. So these drivers are getting ready to go green here once again. So they're going to go 2 by 2. Who do you got? 10 lap sprint.
I don't know. I think I'd have to go in that second row. I don't know if I'd want Caldwell or Flo there, but Caldwell's been doing pretty well, but so is Barrett Flo. So I think I'm going to go with the champ, though. I think I'll take Caldwell.
Yeah, it's a pretty safe pick you got yourself right there. You really went out there on a limb for that one.
Yeah,
but,
I tried to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. It's okay. We got Lefevers and Peters back here in row 3 for you.
Let's go. Lefevers and Peters back here in row 3. But up front, we got the 40 of Ryan Farrell in the Chevrolet side by side with Trevor Dalton in the Toyota. The 40 is the one with the button, and a huge restart by the 40. Barrett Flo spins his tires on the restart.
Into the 45 of Lefevers is Barrett Flo, but we stay green.
Ooh, Lefevers. Oh, no. The 30 hard into the inside fence.
16 into the 45. 64. Lilith Peters.
Oh my,
my.
and Maxwell Caldwell is also involved.
Holy crap.
Oh, my goodness. We saw Trevor Dalton flying across our screen. We saw Lilith Peters. So let's go back here to the backstretch. Well, let's take a look at the reason for the caution. Here's Lilith Peters trying to catch Maxwell Caldwell. Sideways into the corner already. And you can tell that 101 was bobbling down the backstretch.
Yep, sideways down. Slides up and catches Caldwell there.
Wow. So that's one incident.
Yes, there's that one incident.
The other happened with Trevor Dalton on that same lap going down the backstretch.
Go, Trevor.
Coming off of coming off of turn 2 here. Take a look at the 30, getting hard into the fence, sideways on exit.
It gets a little help there from Caldwell. Nothing that he could do about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And hard hitting to the inside wall for the 30. And I'm wondering, does the 01 or the 101, I'm sorry, get out of sorts because of that incident? You can see how far down the racetrack she is. She tries to get back into the racing lane, but it looks like the adjustment to go back up high upset the balance of the race car.
Go back and take a look here. So let's stop it here. Jump onto the 101.
Or does she get tagged by this Lefevers incident?
Oh, no. Nope. She looks like she sees it, tries to overcorrect, gets down to the bottom side, tries to go high to arc that corner again, and looks like she got loose before she even tried to make the corner and slides up into the track.
Hard hit.
Oof.
Well, he hasn't left us yet. Ryan Farrell in the 40 machine up front. Now followed by Barrett Flo and Johnny Lefevers back here in 3rd place. And if you can believe it or not, Justin Horton has finally made his way back to where he started tonight in 4th place.
We'll see what happens here. It's those last few laps there were one heck of a shootout. We'll see what these last I'm gonna say 4 laps are gonna show us here.
And as you can see at home, the lights are still on the pace car, which means we have at least one more lap around before we get going. I mean, I'm not giving out the award just yet, but I mean, come on. It's going to depend on where Maxwell Caldwell winds up, but it doesn't get more unfortunate than that.
No, it doesn't.
Well, he does have the under pressure washing services on the race car, so that would be the first time that the award has been given to the driver that sports the paint. So, there's plenty more that can happen. We have 5 laps to go, so don't want to give that award out too early. I learned my lesson last week, and I'm not doing it again.
So we got Farrell and Flo up front, Lefevers and Horton, Michael Matta and Matt Schlosser in row 3. So see how this last little bit shakes up here.
Who will walk away the victor at Gateway? It's been a treacherous race here at the back end of this event, and it will certainly be a heart-pounding. Gonna be 4 laps to go here when they cross the start-finish line. Farrell with the button. He's been waiting late on the Geico restart zone. Does he do it again side by side with Barrett Flo? No, he goes early this time, and I think he caught the field sleeping here, Mike.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it. He's out to a half-second lead already as Lefevers and Flo are side by side. Matta and Horton as well. Ooh, looks like Lefevers almost got into that left rear quarter panel of that 92 machine there.
Yeah, some of these drivers are having great days up inside the top 5 and top 10. Matta, Schlosser, and Merkel, a trio. Look at K-Spear. Is that Jonathan K-Spear? It is. Oh no! Justin Lewis and Maxwell Caldwell find each other into the outside wall, and that, I think, will be the end of both of these drivers' day here at Gateway.
Let's rewind that just a little bit further. So Caldwell looks like he's sliding up the track. Gets loose.
Yeah, look at Austin Cole. Just barely getting by. Look at Trevor Dalton. Hard into Caldwell.
Nose to nose there. So do you think we can give that award out now, or is this kind of his own fault now?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the incident itself only happened because of the last caution, right? I mean, we saw that 94 up front and found himself only in the back because of that previous incident. You see here on pit road, Isaac Love got engine problems there. In the 62 machine, Lilith Peters also still on pit road. I don't know. I think Caldwell just took a fast repair, so I definitely would have thought he would have taken that last go round, but hey, able to keep on going, and Justin Lewis, for that matter, all dinged up, still driving.
Justin Lewis is still out there.
All right, so it's gonna happen again, Mike. It's like the sun coming up in the morning. It's like the tides rising and falling. It's like gravity itself. A green-white checkered for SCL Cup competition. It seems like any and all races we seem to be covering now as of late tend to go this way, but just in case, if you are a first-time viewer when it comes to SCL competition, know this: because we are going into green-white checkered territory, there's a few things that you should know. One is that SCL competition only has one attempt at a green-white checkered, and that's it, and that's across each of their divisions, past normally scheduled race distance. So what that means is we're going to rack them up. We're going to go 2 by 2 again. We're going to get the green flag. And from there on to the end of the race, if the yellow is waved, the race is over. The field is frozen. iRacing will dictate timing and scoring, and these drivers are going to be scored at the moment of caution. And if we are fortunate enough, what will hopefully happen is these drivers will go around one lap under green and then another lap around under the white flag, and then they will get the checkered flag. So we don't want any yellows because we don't have another chance to do this again.
They are stacked up. We'll get ready to turn them loose here as they head through 3 and 4. But who do you have, Zach, now?
Oh man, I think the restarts have been so good to Pharrell. It's been really a strong suit of his, just getting out and running away. So I would be hard pressed to find anybody in the field that would make up the ground unless a Pharrell messes up. You're going to have to give it to the 40 machine unless somebody moves it. And I don't think Barrett Flow's the guy to do that. We haven't experienced Johnny Lefevers too much to really know, or Matt Schlosser for that matter, in this position. So I guess we're going to find out. My money's on Pharrell. So 2 by 2, they're going to come. A bow tie and a Ford leading them. Again, it's Pharrell on the button. He switched things up last time around in the Geico restart zone. Will he wait? Yes, he will. And Barrett Flow is right there. So we're going to be in for a treat here with 2 laps to go.
Side by side they go. Flow lets him slide up in front of him, takes it inside lane. Barrett Flow down to the inside, side by side. Pharrell to the outside. Flow gets loose. Catches it as he runs it down the track.
Flow with too much wheel into it, getting out of turn 2. He's going to send it into turn 3. Look at Michael Schlosser here for 3rd place. Schlosser around, and that's it. The race is over. Ryan Pharrell will hold on and be your race winner. As of this moment, Barrett Flow will be 2nd on timing and scoring. And the only question now is, where does Michael Matta land? We'll have to see. We'll have to confirm with RC. But Michael Matta certainly sent it there in that last corner. Look at Johnny Lefevers. Johnny Lefevers coming back up here. So who knows? Maybe that 45 will get 3rd place. We'll have to see.
See how this all shakes out here.
No drivers are talking about it right now on the radio. I mean, I can't personally hear it, but I can see chatter going on, and the race is official. Ryan Pharrell has completed the laps. Mandatory to finish this race. That number 40 is going to be your winner tonight here at Gateway. At least on timing and scoring here, Mike, it looks like Michael Matta is going to be scored 3rd. So I think that's how this is going to turn out.
Well, while he's here, I think we're going to do something. I think we both decided that's what we were going to do, right? Let me throw the graphic up here real quick.
Finishes 12th tonight. Certainly had a chance to win this thing late. is going to take home the banner of the Under Pressure Pressure Washing Tough Luck Award. But taking a look now here at your top three, we got a few interviews to do. Oh, maybe. Let me see. Here we go. Here we go. I'm trying, Mike. I'm trying really hard. There he is. All right. Mike, you are with our race winner, Ryan Farrell.
Hey, Ryan, how's it going, man?
It's going pretty good. It was pretty fun, right?
Well, the beginning of the race was a little drawn out, but you guys definitely brought an action-packed finish here. You were able to pull away on those restarts, keep Barrett Flow there guessing a little bit. How were you able to hang on there at the end?
Saving tires. I mean, even in that short run, just trying to save tires, even a little bit of tweaks that we could do within that fixed setup, making the tires last a little bit better. But it definitely helps having some, definitely had some help with having those, quick runs right there at the end, to get a big jump. The last one I kind of goofed on and let him get a little bit of rolling speed, and probably should have went sooner. But yeah, other than that, it was fun. Just conserve the tires and get that run down the backstretch. That was like the big thing.
Well, we were kind of joking about it a little bit earlier as that goes. Well, hopefully this race gets done before Ryan has to check out here. You were able to hold on and get your win.
Yeah, I mean, the car was dialed. It was, I was trying to not. I was playing a little bit cat and mouse, kind of just trying to just stay just further enough out and manage that lead until they start burning their stuff up, trying to catch me. So it was a good time. I want to thank a lot of people for Custom Works RC Cars and Extreme Performance Sim. They're some partners of mine, and I get married this weekend, so good start to the week.
Definitely sounds like it, man. Well, congrats on your win. Congrats on getting married, and maybe we'll talk to you later this season.
Definitely hope so. Thanks.
That is your race winner, Ryan Farrell. Next up here in the booth, we're going to bring in Barrett Flow is going to be with Mike Damoni and Zach Woods. Do you have a copy, Barrett?
Yeah, guys, go ahead.
Hey, Barrett, it's been, exactly 1 week since I talked to you. But talk to the fans out there when it comes to Gateway. What makes this track so unique, and how does it suit you and your driving style?
Well, this place sucks, to be honest with you. You just
tell me how you really feel, Barrett.
Yeah, I don't want to come back to Gateway, but you can really overdrive it, and I think probably tonight there was probably 20 instances where we did just that, and just got lucky there at the end. It just all kind of panned out and worked out where we were able to get back to what we had lost earlier in the race.
You're able to dig pretty hard to work your way back up there. But it all came down to a late race restart, as so often these events do. And you saved it for the last restart. You probably had the best restart out of anybody starting second tonight, especially when it came to Farrell. Was there anything that you could have done differently? I know you slipped up and he slipped up there on that last lap exchange. Anything you could have done differently?
I probably could have stayed with him going down the back stretch if I hadn't got loose coming off turn 2. Arcing it down in there at the bottom and then trying to get back on the gas, it's a little bit difficult. You can get back on the gas quicker on the top side, I feel like. But he made a mistake, and then I made a mistake, and it was over with then. But you know, it all worked out.
Well, certainly a strong showing here. A good points day for you here tonight as well. Muscle your way back up here to second. Is there any thank you sponsors or shout outs that get it done for you here on the 92?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Joe Flood Grading Company, and then of course, like always, Josh and Adam, and got to give a little shout out to Josh because he kind of coached me on that restart there, and so that was probably the best restart I'd probably ever done. So appreciate that.
All right, well, that's Barrett Flo, your second place finisher. Go and enjoy it.
Appreciate it.
All right, Mike, I got some news, and I got some news for our folks at home as well who might be wondering the great mystery of P3 tonight. We did get word that it is, in fact, Johnny Lefevers who does finish third in tonight's event. Michael Matta did pass him going to the start-finish line, but that does not take away the fact that Johnny Lefevers does get third. Johnny, it's Zach and Mike up in the booth.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you pretty well.
Oh,
I'm going to leave you to it with Mike.
Well, heck of a run there, Johnny. It looked like you were hanging around there. You got a good run there towards the end, and wound up bringing home a top 5 finish in P3. Heck of a run.
Yeah, I was very shocked. Couldn't feel like I couldn't really get a hang of that track at all through practice or anything. I was surprised that I qualified halfway decent, but I'm just kind of real sorry about that last lap there going into turn 3. My car was so loose. If I'd have hit the brakes anymore, I would have spun out myself, but I didn't mean to get into him.
Yeah, it definitely looked like everybody was a little loose and having a little bit of problems towards the end there of that race as they were sliding up the track. But you were able to hang on and bring home a podium finish. Anybody else you want to thank before we let you go?
Well, I want to thank all you guys, everybody that puts up this league for sure, and all you broadcasters. You guys do an excellent job. Appreciate all you guys do, and I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and that's about it.
Definitely, Johnny. Well, congrats on your P3 finish. Go head off and celebrate it. Maybe we'll talk to you later in the season.
Appreciate it. Hopefully I'll have a little bit more.
Well, he seemed pretty excited to get that podium finish. But a driver that I want to update once again is that Michael Matta, for you guys at home that are watching and for us here, is going to be on our timing and scoring, finishing third. And the events of kind of the last lap or so as people were trying to get shuffled back in line, Matta did pass or was in front of Johnny Lefevers coming at the start finish line. And again, this is a I guess an iRacing thing where Matta crosses the start finish line, he's going to be scored third. He is going to get a penalty for that because Lefevers did have positioning in front of him. That's not something we can correct, but I did get word that Michael Matta received a black flag for that, for being in the wrong order, and he will finish 13th for tonight's event. So last car on the lead lap. So Johnny Lefevers, we just spoke to, finished P3, but if for anybody wondering, hey, well, what does that mean for Michael Matta? Now you know.
Definitely. So we had lots of stuff going on, and lots of action there towards the end. Some heartbreak for a few drivers, and you know, I guess it is just the way Gateway kind of works, and I guess I don't know what else you want to say about this. I mean, we had a heck of a run there.
Yeah, it's a big, giant, short track. These drivers are able to reach some nice speeds, right, in this next gen race car, but the reality is that there's so much bumping and there's so much leaning on one another. Yeah, it does spread out, and yeah, it does get into a nice groove once the drivers find it, but man, cautions breed cautions here just as well as a Martinsville or Bristol.
Oh, definitely does. We saw that several times. Once they kind of got slowed down, it didn't take too long for the group to ensue chaos.
Well, let's take a look here at the finishing results here for our event tonight here at Gateway, week 9 of SCL Winston Cup Series competition. As you can see up here on the screen, we have Ryan Farrell coming home P1, as there was not any time restraints for him tonight, able to bring that 40 machine home first. Barrett Flo and Johnny Lefevre is going to round out your podium this evening. Todd Merkel muscles home 4th place, and Jonathan Casebeer, 2 drivers right there having great runs. Merkel, we've been able to talk to you on the show quite a bit. I was able to peek into chat. Casebeer's beating himself up for not being able to get that interview tonight, but great run for him coming home 5th. Austin Call 6th. Justin Lewis was only able to claw his way back up to 7th. Trevor Dalton 8th. Lee Campbell 9th. Great run for him in that 014 machine. And Maxwell Caldwell 10th. Derek Wegman will come home 11th. Matt Schlosser 12th. Michael Matta 13th. Will Salamone will finish 14th. Justin Horton will round out your top 15. The 88 machine of Ronnie Hurst will come home 16th. David Hanna 17th. There's Lilith Peters. Unfortunate ending for her night, able to climb the mountain, get back up to where she qualified this evening late into this event, but then a couple instances brought her out of tonight's event, finishing 18th. Craig Forsythe, again, another feel-good story coming up just short in 19th. Isaac Love 20th. Zachary Archer 21st. Mike Peters 22nd. Matthew McMeekin 23rd. Bruno Latour finishing 24th. And as you can see on the bottom of the screen, Braden Murray did not make a lap tonight. So, Mike, do you have any closing thoughts for tonight's race here at Gateway? A lot of great stories to be had through the field.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff going on, lots of action here. And as we close out here tonight, I can't wait to see what these guys do to close out the season. We head to Las Vegas next week, and then we go to North Wilkesboro and wrap the season up with the Merkel Racing Engines 125 at Atlanta Motor Speedway, the new version there. So with that being said, Zach, from all of the drivers of the SCL League and all of us here at Sim Racing Media, hope you all have a good night, and we will see you next time.